I'm still having connection issues due to Comcast being Comcast and all the noise on the line and their disappointment capability to fucking figure it out. Excuse my language, young ones. But welcome back, guys. Vega here for SerpentX Tech. I'm drinking some Doge Lord coffee once again. And the crypto markets have picked up a little bit. I'm going to try to go through news here while the connection is still solid. Bitcoin around 17,200. There's this wall right now around 17.3, somewhere in that range. We got to break that little bitty itty bitty resistance before we can move on up. Ethereum holding around almost $1,300, and much of the market in the green except for a few projects. Obviously, Solana is having its downturn. I think it's down significantly due to recent and current events of what's going on. But yeah, overall green. I'm expecting, I still believe there's still some more pain to be felt throughout the market before we actually pick back up. And I got some news articles that I want to go over. Everything is linked down in the description. As well, by the way, is a way to send me items. It's obviously going to be scanned, secure, opened, sent to me, all that good stuff. It's going to be going through a third-party security firm to send me stuff, because I don't know if you guys are going to try to send me some fucking anthrax or some shit. But I hope you do not. I'm just a regular guy with a family trying to make ends meet and trying to work a full-time job and bring you guys some fucking crypto news. So I hope you like that shit. If you do, hit the like button on the way out. Or if you stay, because we'll see how good this stream continues to hold out. But Bitcoin, Ethereum jump with stocks' job report release. Now that... I think, well, I don't know what it was. Let's see here. The price of Bitcoin, the biggest digital asset by market cap for trading, was 17,183 at time of writing, at 2.1% over the 24-hour jump. It looks like Ethereum, largest cryptocurrency, was doing even better at 3.7%, around that almost $1,300, so 1278. The vast majority of the biggest digital assets were up in the past day, closing following U.S. equities. Wall Street traders were pleased with the data showing Americans filing claims for jobless benefits increased last week, and unemployment rolls hit a 10-month high at the end of the month. Economists suggest that the low unemployment can mean people spending more, leading prices to increase. With unemployment rising, prices are likely to go up. In short, inflation will be coming down. The S&P 500 up about 0.75% and finished at 3,963. Ending its biggest losing streak since October, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 183.56 points, or 0.5%, to finish at 33,781, and NASDAQ Composite jumped 1.13%. The digital assets this year have followed the U.S. stock market. When the Fed has raised rates to get inflation under control, investors have gotten rid of risk assets like equities and Bitcoin. The wider crypto market is still down, as we talked about previously. But, you know, while people see this as a positive indicator, which I do, I still believe there's a little bit more down turn, unfortunately, to continue to experience, unfortunately. And apparently I was wrong as hell about a couple things. I'm going to have to talk to Crypto Mikkel on their stream. Because obviously he knows more about the SQRL situation, or squirrel situation, than I was led to believe. So I'm going to have to talk to him about that. Very interesting, and obviously that's got to be offline, because the moment you start talking about anything related to that, people start getting butthurt or don't want to even talk about it. So we'll worry about that another time and date. So Ethereum and Litecoin make a move while Bitcoin price searches for firmer footing. I haven't seen Bitcoin this unsure of itself in a long time. And I still think my positions at 3.8 and 10.8 are going to stay in. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's going to get down below 10K. I don't think it's going to get down past 13K, but there is a possibility or a chance, because there's still some things, the dominoes haven't quite fallen. It's kind of like that one last bowling pin where it's just fucking, you know, spinning around, doesn't know if it wants to fall or not, waiting for that last one or last couple to fall, unfortunately. So anyways, yeah, people are excited. News articles talking about, you know, hey, we're up today, yay, compared to, you know, blah, 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 November, October, whatever number you want to get, or whatever date you want to provide. But the TA, from my understanding, is quite confusing, especially when it comes to the dollar, the US dollar. Ether's price action in the US dollar and BTC pairs raise eyebrows, especially given the state of the broader market. Despite the short-term bullish outlook, ETH's price could be affected by red flags such as Ethereum blockchain censorship, U.S. Office Foreign Assets Control Compliance, or OFAC, Ethereum's performance in its supposedly deflationary post-merge environment, and concerns over the possibility of U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, and Commodities Future Trading Commission, or the CFTC, changing their perspective on Ether being a commodity. You know, the whole situation that everybody keeps talking about is unfortunate, but kind of like, let's see here, how can I say this? Bitcoin is to the electrical grid what FTX and SBF is to regulation. They are forcing the hand to improve, make the structure more efficient, make the situation much better, improve upon. But unfortunately, trying to bring crypto into the traditional world and that regulation would not be advantageous, because there's still a bunch of bullshit and corruption and fraud done within the traditional markets. We don't really want to bring crypto like straight, like just apply the same fucking rules. We want to make sure, you know, that it's kind of separately governed, not governed, but regulated than what the traditional stocks and financials are. Like, that's the whole point of crypto. We don't want to turn crypto into what the whole reason why what Satoshi built it for, and what people are trying to turn it into is not the same thing. Like, this was supposed to be for people to utilize, to transact without a central authority, and you know, maybe to possibly store their own financial wealth rather than sending it to a central authority, bank, institution, whatever it might be. So applying the same rules and regulations that allow these loopholes and these corrupted people and these fraudsters to really make money off the backs of the blue collar, in my opinion, would be very stupid. Actually, Jon Stewart did a special the other day. I forgot the gentleman he interviewed. I have to look it up and find it. But yeah, I was actually impressed with the fact that Jon Stewart is actually pretty well informed. There was a few points in there that I did not expect John to understand, but he did, and I'm very interested. Moving on, we got Ethereum Shanghai fork coming in March 2023. Does not mean you will be able to unstake your Ethereum. Don't get it twisted. You guys need to pay attention and stop thinking that just because somebody tweeted it, it's true. No offense. It's just they need to get on the same ground. I checked in with Tim just to see how he's doing good. I would like to talk to Mike. I'll probably try to catch up with them as soon as possible. And I am interested in doing another minor meeting next year, towards the end of next year, which I will coordinate with all my fellow colleagues in the space. But according to the discussion, on the 151st Ethereum Core Dev meeting on December 8th, core programmers have set a tentative deadline for March 2023, Ethereum Shanghai fork. In addition, developers will aim for May or June 2023 to launch the Ethereum Improvement Protocol, or EIP 4844 upgrade that will introduce proto-dank sharding to the network. Although the much anticipated proof of stake merge upgrade that completed in September, Stake Ether, is currently locked in Ethereum's Beacon chain. The token is created by decentralized finance protocol Lido, and with close to 3.5 million STETH, 4.48 billion in circulation. After the Shanghai upgrade, STETH users can withdraw their funds along with the applicable staking rewards for validating network transactions. Again, after the Shanghai upgrade. Didn't say when, didn't see what. I don't think we have a concrete EIP proposal just yet. You just have to be patient, hang in there. However, say for example you're staking through Coinbase. Coinbase does have an exit ramp for you to swap you know, your staked ETH for whatever they call it, a Coinbase staked ETH or some shit. And then you could sell it and then spend your money however you see fit if you did want to get out of it. But yes, we got EIP 4844 upgrade is designed to introduce a new data blob transaction prototype previously invented by developers on February 21st, 2022. Current layer 2 technologies such as optimistic rollups can move Ethereum computation and network storage off-chain to improve scalability by 10x or 100x. Developers anticipate that introducing large portable bundles that can contain cheaper data and Ethereum transactions can improve the capacity of the rollups by over 100%. However, while the upgrade will lower the transaction fees on layer 2 solutions, it will not affect Ethereum gas fees. Another misconception with the EIP 1559, everybody thought it was going to lower gas fees. It did not. Things did get better, but as soon as you have a new product come out, say like a Bored Apes or whatever come out, and it's a lot of hype on it, gas fees go a little bit crazy. The miners were making decent profits, but now it would be the validators or the stakers with the 32 ETH or more that will be reaping the rewards of those gas fees. Obviously, a lot more will be burned, but we'll see how it goes because MEV is still a thing. Last December, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin shared their end game. Let's see here. He wants fully comfortable storing their assets in ZK rollups, a full EVM, that sharding data and availability sampling are complex technology and would take years of audits and refinement to implement. So, I mean, it's still going to take a while for Ethereum to, I guess you could say, fucking get its final form, like sell or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, it's moving forward. I just saw the notification for the meeting just the other day, so we'll see how things pan out. This is more important to me right here, right now, is the SEC issues new guidance requiring companies to disclose cryptocurrency risk. Now, one of the biggest things that the Twitter space has been doing or dealing with is that, these various cryptocurrency companies have been advising, oh, yeah, look at our assets. Look at our portfolio. Look at this, look at this pretty picture of what our assets are made up of. And unfortunately, they don't disclose the risk. Like, they might show how much of Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, or whatever their percentages for their own token that they made out of thin air, but they're not disclosing the risk. And I think crypto.com got called out for that as well. And I think there was some funds, don't quote me on this, I think there was some funds kind of being passed back and forth, kind of like what some people say the gold reserve, the US bank and then the JP Morgan or Chase Bank, where some of the tinfoil hat theories is that the gold can be shuffled from building to building. So if Germany or some other country comes over and says, hey, I want to see my gold, they can make it happen and then bring it right back to the private vaults at JP Morgan Chase. So the crypto firms trying to provide, after the SBF FTX, trying to provide, proof of reserves, right, did not specify or provide the risk, right, the debt that they are involved in. And that's really what's crushing these companies, right? Especially those who have a decent majority stake in their own fucking token. Like, you created a token, you're able to pump the price because you're a majority holder of it, or you're able to manipulate it, let's just say that, pump it or take it down. And if that token goes belly up, those reserves you have, that you have a lot of, it can take down your company, which is what we saw happen with the FTX peeps. So I like this, but it's kind of like the what is it, the kettle calling the pot black. It's like, dude, you're just as dirty, right? I mean, you're calling for it, cool. We've been asking for it for a while on the Twitter Spaces and trying to get people to own up to it. And some of the exchange individuals like Alex and others, Kraken and so on and so forth, have been more transparent than most. But yeah, this is very important to me because we want to see not just your reserves, but your actual risk, the risk that you take on, the debt that you have taken on. So this guidance comes months after FTX, one of the blah, 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 yada, 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 had over 100,000 customers were affected by the exchange's failure. SEC Chair Gary Gensler fended off accusations that the agency has failed to prevent crypto firms from misusing customer funds. Gary Gensler also said the SEC would take more enforcement actions if the firms fail to comply with existing rules. Under new guidance, companies will have to include crypto asset holdings as well as the risk exposure to FTX bankruptcy and other market developments in the public filing. The company's bankruptcy filing indicated the company has over 1 million creditors. SEC Division of Corporate Finance developed a sample letter after a selective review of findings made under the Securities Act of 1933 and the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, which directs company to disclose such further material information, if any, as may be necessary to make the required statements in light of the circumstances under which they are made not misleading. A suggested item within a letter asked the issuer to describe how company bankruptcy and subsequent effects have impacted or may impact your business, financial condition, customers, counterparties, either directly or indirectly. Another asks of the description of any material risk to you, either directly or indirectly, due to excessive redemptions, withdrawals, suspensions, or redemptions of withdrawals or crypto assets. Identify any material concentrations of risk and quantify any material exposures. The SEC Corporate Finance Division encouraged companies to adopt these recommendations as they prepare documents. They may not typically be subject to review by the division before their use. So I think that would be very important. That would actually help investors and help individuals really get behind a company to be able to see the full picture of said exchange, of said company, of said venture, of said firm, whatever it might be. So I'd be interested to who complies with this and see what they say or if they do anything whatsoever. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, very, very interesting to me to see how this thing goes in the long run. Upcoming hearings must build consensus on crypto regulation. And this is the same thing. I talked about this earlier. I'm not going to go into full detail. But again, I don't want to see us apply the same fucking rules that is allowing corruption and fraud in the traditional finance space to be applied to the crypto space. We already have enough of that already without those regulations, rules, guidelines, whatever the hell you want to call it. So I will be looking forward to clear guidance, clear information to allow new money to come into the space and to see how the space grows in general. It's unfortunate that we're in this position. But again, as I said, for some of you just joined, is SBF and FTX is to the the crypto markets what Bitcoin is to the electrical grid. It's forcing the hand. We need to move faster now because of XYZ situation. Hopefully, we got some people in there that don't have money in their pockets from SBF and FTX that can actually provide clear guidance, and we can try to guide the regulations and the rules in a direction that's positive for crypto, but again, not making it so closely aligned to the traditional finance space. But unfortunately, we had people's pockets greased on both sides of the aisle, which, this is exactly why we're in the position we're in. If you were to pay me and say, hey, Vega, I want you to promote my project, and I see that your project is shit, I'm just going to call it what it is. It's shit. Even if you paid me. And you might be mad at me, but that's just who I am. I don't want to call myself a whistleblower, but there's been many times I've seen, for example, I'm not going to name the company, but I worked for a church. And if you're an IT guy, you know this. Never work for a church or religious organization or a school. Those are the two places that will fuck you over because they don't pay you for the jobs you do, even if it's a contract gig. You might get it done, but then you won't get paid, and then they'll file for bankruptcy or whatever bull crap. But anyways, I saw some corruption and fraud happening within the church organization. Who would have thunk it? And I called it out. They failed on their own account, but if I see something and I can't unsee it, right? Like you're doing wrong. You're clearly doing wrong. I have to call it out. That's just my moral code. But see, that not everybody has that. People would be more than happy, to take a big bag of money and keep their mouth shut, and just keep it moving. I have this inner soul that just won't let me do it, and it's sometimes it bites me in the butt, right? That is true. That if you open your mouth too much, you could wind up getting yourself in trouble. It may be the truth, but you can wind up getting yourself in trouble and wind up losing out. And that's happened to me many of times. Moving on, going back to crypto.com and what we saw about SEC trying to issue new guidance requiring companies to disclose cryptocurrency risk, not just their reserves, but their risk. Crypto.com, I believe, is one of the companies that we saw, at least the chain analysis people advise that, prior to Crypto.com providing proof of reserves, funds were moved from one place to another and then back after the proof of reserves was posted. So anyways, Crypto.com CEO has a history of red flags, including bankruptcies and quick exits. So Chris is their name. I can't pronounce their last name. Was involved in multiple ventures that ended in collapse, including one where suppliers claimed they were unable to access their earnings. Over a decade ago, Chris and his business partner were paid millions of dollars by manufacturing company months before they entered bankruptcy. In a tweet thread published ahead of the story, Chris wrote, "Startups are hard and you will fail over and over again." That is true. If you do 10 startup companies, probably maybe 1 or 2 will be successful. The rest will go under. It is hard to do it. But if your intent, and this is the hard part, your intent is good, you might be successful if you surround yourself with good people. If your intent is bad, you will be successful. I didn't say might be, you will be successful. Because your goal is to rip off people. And apparently, like Crypto Mikkel, I need to get educated, because in his stream, I mentioned a couple things regarding an old FPGA company and an individual, and Crypto Mikkel said no. So clearly, I need to be educated in that regard, and I love that. If I say something wrong, you call me out in the comments, give me constructive criticism, I will return to you and try to get educated more. So assholes like this, and maybe Chris is a good guy deep down. Maybe what's his name was a good guy deep down. But the actions speak louder than words. So that's why you got to watch what you say and what you do, right? Because cause and effect. So anyways, Chris here, Crypto.com, has a history. Crypto.com is still one of the more successful exchanges out there. But people have been worried that this will be the next one to go down, right? After all the dominoes have fallen. I am not sure. I haven't been paying attention to Mario and their team and all the other people on Twitter Spaces. I got a full-time job and a family to fucking take care of. I don't have time to keep up with all this shit. Just don't keep all your funds on an exchange. Keep control of your assets yourself. I showed you how to do that in a number of videos. Hardware wallet video coming soon, or cold storage. Get subscribed and stay up to date. Many people want to keep talking about this SBS FTX situation. I keep saying that I'm tired of talking about it, but new information comes to light. Now, this particular article I'm not going to quote or talk about, but what is stagflation and how it can impact cryptocurrencies? You should take some time when you get an opportunity today and read it. If you don't have time to read it, you can always highlight it, and there's a program to where you can get it to speak to you, and you go about your day and you listen. But this is something that, you keep hearing this term, stagflation, and if you don't know what the hell it is, I would recommend you read it. I'm not going to try to explain it either, because I'm not a financial fucking expert. CEO of Binance warns users about a new hack targeting cryptocurrency industry. Now, I've seen this before. We've probably all seen it. I'll check chat here in a minute. Thank you, Crypto Mikkel, and all my friends for coming on over. But the CEO of major cryptocurrency exchange Binance, CZ, took to Twitter to warn about the latest hack type targeting the cryptoverse, one executed by the threat actor with broad knowledge of cryptocurrency industry. CZ said, "Don't download files." Now that should be commonplace, not in crypto, not just in crypto, but everywhere. Don't download files. He went on to explain that users may receive a file from a friend, but that friend may have already been compromised. The person may share a weaponized Excel file with the name exchange fee comparison.xls, which is an Excel file which contains malicious code among other threats targeting crypto funds. CZ referred to the Microsoft Security Threat Intelligence BOG blog post posted Tuesday, which discussed target attacks against the cryptocurrency industry. The blog post states that given the rise of crypto market over the past several years, it hasn't attracted the attention of only investors, but the threat actors too, which directly targeted organizations within the cryptocurrency industry from financial gain. They found that attacks targeting this market have taken many forms, including fraud, vulnerability exploits, fake applications, the use of info stealers, and attackers attempt to get their hands on crypto funds. He says here, don't trust your friends, I guess you could say. There's also a novel tactic being developed. The report said one of being employed by threat actor tracked as Dev0139, a designation as a temporary name given to an unknown cluster of threat activity within until they are identified and named. We are also seeing more complex attacks wherein the threat actors show great knowledge and preparation, taking steps to gain into the target's trust before deploying payloads. So there's two types of threat actors. As far as like gray black hats, in my opinion, and there's multiple shades, so to speak, and not 50 Shades of Gray or whatever the fuck they call it. But there's ones that there's built, not bought, and there's bought, not built. 9 times out of 10, the more basic ones were bought off of the dark web, right? It was a package created by, whoever. The person bought it and now they're deploying it. And then there's the more knowledgeable people that build it from the ground up and implement their attack vectors. And we saw this with the so-called LHR unlocker. That was a bought, not built package to me, because the way it looked like is they took various components that they bought or various intrusive exploits and packaged it and then try to get that out to the masses through the stupid means they were doing. You immediately saw the community say, whoa, hey guys, watch out, don't do this, don't click this. And then that thing spread like wildfire. Yeti and Chump Change did a breakdown. Talking to Yeti, it definitely looks like a novice attempt at trying to exploit somebody, because it looked like a bunch of pre-built templates compiled together into one form and then try to send out to the masses. Whereas the people that do want to target you, if they do want to target you, they will get you, which is quite unfortunate. I hope that those guys will understand that I come from the background in which we helped many of our countries and comrades in various places during certain situations, and that would give me a reprieve because they know that I'm one of them. But we'll see. The best thing I can do is, teach my family, teach my kids, don't click things, don't open things. And I've seen a number of Gmail or regular emails where people say, they send you a fucking an Excel file, they send you a PDF, they send you this, that, and the other, and they want you to open it. But if you don't know the source, right? If the email it's coming from is Bob's Burgers, but it's supposed to say crypto.com at the top, then obviously it's malicious. But it's not often that easy, right? Sometimes it will be in a nice little neat package, look like it's an official, look like it's legit. It might look like your friend, your family member, or colleague, or coworker, and then you wind up opening it up, and then you just open a fucking can of worms, and that thing spreads through your network. It won't just, depending on the payload, it won't just affect your system. It won't just affect your device. It will continue to move on throughout the network of devices that you have. So just be careful, be smart. But CZ calling it out. Obviously, crypto is a very big target. Because this is a good way for some of these individuals, and I understand they got to make end meet too, to make money, feed themselves, feed their, and some of them have families, like they're just regular Joes, that work a 9 to 5, and then during certain hours they're on the dark web, trying to make some extra dough. And then some of them, this is their full-time passion. And like I said, if they want to get you, they will get you. So just take your time, double check, verify, don't trust. Bitcoin mining project in Kenya helps pillar rural community. Actually, let's save that towards the end because I like some positive news. All right. Bitcoin miners took on billions in debt to pump their stock, leading to crypto catastrophe. We talked about this before. It looks like the phone just won't stop ringing. Beam Zach Belford, the CEO of Bitcoin mining company CleanSpark. The calls are from other mining bosses, and they're panicking. After Bitcoin crash and energy costs spiraled over the summer, mining firms that took on expensive short-term loans to buy hardware during the bull run now teeter on the bankruptcy. Lenders are breathing down their necks, and the miners need quick cash. But only a handful of companies are buying mining rigs these days, and Bradford CleanSpark, which only took on a small amount of debt during the bull run, is one of them. Having always sold 70% of the Bitcoin mined, it mined using mostly cheap nuclear energy, which we do need. As many people are panicky when you hear the word nuclear, and to allow a plant near them. We do need the newer technology utilizing nuclear energy, makes it much safer. If you haven't gotten educated on that, we do need to get some more nuclear power plants up and running. Disposal of spent rods and spent nuclear items could be a little bit better, but we'll just have to advance. Anyways, ClearSpark is in the inevitable position of being rich enough to swoop and buy box fresh, top of the line machines from near bankrupt miners at sensible prices. At the start of the month, CleanSpark spent $5.9 million on 3,843 miners that Bradford says cost about $1,500 each, down from $13,000 last November during the peak of the Bitcoin mania, right? So we have a lot of these miners are down because of the market, but not all of them, right? You still got the script miners, the L7s being sold at a high price. You still got the Kadana, oh my god, I can't say the name. KDA miners at a high price. And I haven't really seen a KDA miner in the wild. I think Red Panda might have one, but if there's a lot of people that have those, wouldn't that drop? Let's actually go check that out. Let's go look at that. ASIC miner value. It's still very much profitable. How much is it now though? Okay. So basically 10 grand for both the L7 and the KDA miner. So yeah. But anyways, I think Red Panda talked about this too, and just kind of going through his thoughts or their thoughts. But long story short, some of these Bitcoin mining firms, and I mentioned a couple of them in last week's video or the previous week's video, like Core Scientific, America's largest Bitcoin miner, took on debt to equity ratio almost 12 times greater than CleanSpark. And now, that was what Bitsby Trippin was trying to figure out before we got more information, was what mining facility or what mining firm was shut down, because we saw a significant increase in times between blocks, and we saw a dip in Bitcoin hash rate. There's still a lot of Bitcoin mining firms out there that's still hashing away. There's still plenty to keep the network secure and running strong, but these mining ventures, again, overstretched themselves and now put themselves in a bad position, and here we go. I'm sure other mining operations will probably take over, like Compute North. Here's another one, I think. Let's see here. Financiers have already begun repossessing mining equipment. Lender New York Dig took back 26,200 machines from the miner stronghold General Capital has bought 5 million stake in their bankruptcy debitor mining firm Compute North. Compass Point, an investment company, wrote an investment note that lenders should lower the monthly payments they extract from miners to stop them from returning rigs and using the money to buy new computers at a lower price. So the whole industry has to readjust, just like we did after the Ethereum merge. We all had to readjust our strategy because the crypto market's down, the cost of electricity up, and we're not as profitable as we used to be. So everybody across the board is being impacted, and we have to adjust. But don't overstretch yourself. Don't overdo it. Don't extend beyond your means. Never leave crypto on an exchange at least more than you're willing to lose, right? Always expect that money to be gone. If you're gonna put that shit on an exchange or a centralized entity, something where happened to it, just expect it to be fucking gone. All right? Don't be like, oh yeah, I'll come back to this in like 5 years. Don't be like that. There's much easier ways to store your crypto safely and still interact with the various systems that you want to. Anyways, just 8% of Americans have a positive view on cryptocurrency now, says CNBC's survey, which is really funny because they help promoted SBF and FTX and all the companies that help promote it. It's so asinine. I don't have any words. I don't have any words. I never used FTX. I never talked about FTX. I never bothered with FTX US. I wasn't one saying don't use them, but I also have been always advocating for storing crypto yourself. Like the only crypto I have out there on exchanges is the one that 3Commas is using, the Algobot, which I showed you guys what I'm doing with that anyways, right? So that I wrote off. It's in the back of my mind. It's either executing trades and making more money, or it's losing money. And sometime every now and then I check it, I refill it, and then I let it keep going. I mean, it's not thousands of dollars or anything like that, but it's not something that's gonna hurt me. But yeah, so because of this situation, only 8% consider or see crypto in a positive light. So this whole situation did sour people's thirst for crypto, and I don't blame them. Leaving off with some positive news, and then we're just going to go looking at the chat and stuff like that, and just go through a couple things, talk about some things, chat with you guys. Is Bitcoin mining project in Kenya helps power rural community. A hydro-powered crypto mining base a hydro-powered crypto mining project based in Africa released an update on its efforts to bring energy development to rural communities via Bitcoin on December 9th. Gridless Compute tweeted photos and commentary on how their hydro-powered BTC mining rigs are powering an entire rural settlement while also lowering energy rates for 2,000 people, the equivalent to 500 families. According to the tweet, costs decreased from $10 per month to $4 a month. All of this while securing BTC's underlying blockchain network. And let's take a look at some pictures here. Okay. I mean, I think those look pretty. I mean, the technology inside looks good. That looks a little bit beat up, but yeah. Hydro power plant. Cool. Let's see here. According to Gridless, the funds from this round will be used to further the expansion of BTC mines across African markets while targeting rural communities for accessible energy. Eric Hirschman, the CEO of Gridless, said that BTC mining has been widespread throughout North America, Europe, Asia, and Africa has great opportunities to diversify mining. He highlighted the renewable energy is abundant on this content. I agree with that. Renewable energy is abundant on this content. I just hope that they're smart and they don't impact the environment too much with their projects, right? We know that hydro or dams can impact wildlife quite significantly if not properly managed. But yes, there is an abundance of renewable energy in Africa. This presents excellent potential for profits of both energy generators and miners, as well as the ability to deliver real positive impact on the communities where it is put to use. And so here's, I guess, the community that might be benefiting. Oh no, that's the actual containers and farms. Okay, cool. Okay, so there's the dam over here to the left. All right, so there's dams over here on the left-hand side. Wall. Trail down. I wonder what that pipe is for. Is that feeding water this way too? I would assume it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 houses, 5 little container houses. Next week, an additional 10x hash comes online, allowing the power providers to make the upfront investment into hydro for remote regions by monetizing the stranded energy that previously made these deployments uneconomical, a game-changing model for Bitcoin in the world. So going back to what I was saying, again, repeating myself, Bitcoin is to the electrical grid what SBF and FTX is to the crypto markets, or as far as like regulation and stuff like that, is they're both speeding up things to have a positive, hopefully a positive impact on the world. And the news just continues on with this bullshit. Like, it just keeps on going. I'm so tired of it. So yeah, there's more stuff coming out. They got like more data coming out about the text messages. Altcoin Daily put out a video about, in the thumbnail it says the mic was on. SBF secretly founded crypto news site. Like, how many hands he was feeding, so to speak, whose pockets were greased. Him saying he didn't know publicly, but then privately more information coming out. He did know, and the people, I don't know. It's just a fucking shit show. And we need to get rid of jackasses like this. And again, he might be a very intelligent person. He can't really articulate himself very well, but he might be a very intelligent person when it comes to certain areas, certain stuff like that. But I don't know. If I met him for the first time, not even knowing what he was about, what he did, talking to him, would I trust him with my money? Probably a good salesman, but I still wouldn't trust him with my money. It's my money. Why would you trust anybody else with your money? That doesn't make any sense. So anyways, post some questions. I'm going to start going through a chat here in a minute while we do so. I'm very excited for this, guys. The AMD RX 7900 XTX. Dizzy Mining has already got some GPUs, and they will be providing that data to us, the hash rates and stuff like that. But I'm interested to get one for daily use, to put in my main system and hash on and enjoy the damn card. For something that has the traditional dual 8 pins, and can still get down and boogie for a $1,000 price or less, around $1,000 compared to $1,600, $1,700. And can compete with the 4080. I'm very interested in it. Now, for this test bench, they only use the 7700X 8-core, 16-thread CPU. But I wonder, we don't have enough data here to determine if that was a good setup. So I will wait for day one reviews from, your boys like Gamers Nexus, Hardware Unboxed, Paul's Hardware, Bitwit, Jay's 2 Cents. But here in this article, they're saying that the 7900 XTX is visibly faster than the 4080 by about 15% in Vulkan or 14% in OpenCL. I'm just excited to go check this bad boy out. I mean, we know that AMD is not going to have anything to compete with. Actually, it's worse than OpenCL right here. So that's supposed to be a negative 14%. And don't forget, AMD drivers, when they get optimized over time, the cards usually become much, much better. It's all right. So you guys aren't talking much today. Thank you for coming over. And that is pretty much the news, guys. That is pretty much what I have for you. I don't want to read all the articles. There's a lot more drama out there regarding the SBF FTX situation, but I mean, there's plenty of content out there. There's plenty of people talking about it. I'm tired of it. I can't do it anymore. Let's see where Altcoin Daily did it. Yeah, this one right here. SBF finally admits to fraud. Caroline is scared, and then the thumbnail says the mic was on. So, yeah. Nick, you're killing me. You're killing me, Nick. Every week. Every week. Gandalf Gray, you could get Blue Star L1 for cheaper and with undervolting get some good results, but it's no L7. Yeah, and I think there was an L3 Plus that Coastal Mining is providing. Coastal Mining, you got to get on here, man. Got to get on ASIC miner value. Yeah, he was just... They were just riding the SBF FTX bullshit. And I got a lot of views. Because that's all everybody talked about. That's all everybody talked about. SBF to testify in the FTX House hearing. You know, very interested to see what he says on there. But realistically, what he says and what he did are two fucking different things. So we'll see how things turn out in the long run. But yeah, I'm excited for AMD series. We got the AMD series coming out. We got the reviews on the 12th. I expect Dizzy Mining to provide that. Matter of fact, let's go look up Dizzy Mining. Did a post on it. I asked for some specific algos, but they do what they want. They will do it when they have the time. Where's your post at, buddy? Post. Community. Right here. Coming soon, RX. And I commented, good still. Try the Caspa efficiency trick with Team Red Miner, please, and all the popular algos. Let's see what he says. Also, let me know if I can play with it. I'll hit you up offline. It all depends on the time we have with the card. So he might not have it. Okay. So I'm going to try to get one. But you know, the bots are ridiculous. The scalpers are ridiculous. The scalpers are hurting a little bit because they bought a bunch of 4080s and then couldn't offload it. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm excited to play around with it. Here's some of the other GPUs out there. All the stuff that we're familiar with, right? We've seen the Aorus or the basic bitch Gigabyte card. The cards are still gonna. To me, it's kind of like they're applying the 40 series coolers to these cards, right? So the reference card will fit in a ITX build of the AMD 7900 XTX, which is actually a little bit bigger than the XT, by the way, just a hair longer. But they're small form factor. They can fit in the case. We don't know information on thermals yet. I'm assuming some of these vendors with these big ass coolers, hopefully included, along with the big ass coolers, triple slot design. Like, look how thick this bad boy is. I'm assuming there's triple 8-pin too. Yeah, triple 8-pin. Does that allow us to unlock its power a little bit more? Do we get a little bit more performance over reference? Did AMD really lock it down like they did the 6000 series, where we can't use the red BIOS editor or the more power tool to extend its limits or get beyond its capabilities? As long as we have adequate cooling, we'll just have to wait and see what's going on. And then once 4080 12 gigabyte becoming the 4070, whether it's the TI or not, it's going to feature 5,888 CUDA cores and 250 watt TDP, so it's going to be locked down as far as power goes. And yeah, very interested to see how things go and how these reviews look. So ASRock did a little bit something different here. Still traditional designs that we're all familiar with, like the Tachi, the Phantom Gaming. But, ASRock has been growing as far as a company. They're getting a little bit Hollywood on me. They need to make some changes, in my opinion, but we'll see how that goes. Look how small this board is. On this, what is this? This is the GameWord Phoenix. Look how small this board is compared to the actual. It's like 50% PCB, the other 50% just giant cooler. I wonder how these fitments, because again, it probably was easier, instead of having to retool their factories, to just utilize the same coolers from the 40 series on the 6000 series, make a few changes as far as, mounting screw holes, CPU, because of the chiplet design, right? Obviously you need to make changes for that, but as far as like the rest of the design, it probably was easier, instead of having to retool, to just use a similar cooler and apply it to it. Now we know ASRock doesn't do Nvidia, but some of these manufacturers do Nvidia. They do make Nvidia GPUs as well as AMD. So we'll see how that goes. Also, there on eBay, EVGA is auctioning off the non-4090. If we go look it up, Jay's 2 cents brought it up. And I think that thing is going to go for like 10K easy. But yep, here's the eBay listing. Oh, it's down. They took it down. No, what? No, what? Nuh-uh. No, Team EVGA. Did it win? Did somebody win it? Or they just took it down? Hang on. Yes, it's totally legit. EVGA is auctioning off. They're not 4090. Why? Oh, wow. It's already at 14. Did somebody win it? J-Link is dead. What's going on? They relisted it. No. What the? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Just when you think. Okay. United States only. Maybe they decided to stop because it was getting ridiculous. Maybe they decided to pull it off because it was getting ridiculous as far as pricing goes. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Caffeine and Crypto has been interrupted multiple times. Today was a little bit better. It was a little bit more stable. I've been complaining at Comcast. We have multiple outages throughout the week. I had some outages before the stream, but it's holding up just fine now. So let me just wrap up things before the last 5 minutes. And again, if you have any questions, at me or send a super chat. But do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out. Make sure to get subscribed, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out links in the description. Also in there is an address in which you can send items. If you're a vendor, manufacturer, please email me first. If you try to send me stuff that you want me to review, I'm not going to just accept whatever. Okay, we have to talk about it. But be respectful, be humble, keep your head down, keep stacking them sats, and hang in there. Save your money where you can, pay down your debts, feed your family, feed yourself, take care of yourself, work out, go outside, smell the roses, whatever. Mental health is just important as physical health. So go do what you need to for you and your family. Take care of yourselves. Stay in touch and follow me on Twitter. There was some drama that happened earlier this week. Not big drama. It's a little baby drama. But we did have an electrical fire in the garage. Nothing major. Caught it. No problem. Already up and running, working. But you guys will just have to stay tuned for the video about that, okay? Get subscribed. Hit the notification bell, all that bullshit that I just said. And yeah, I'll catch you next one. Have a wonderful day. Take care.
Established in 2017, Octominer is an international mining hardware company. They manufacture and engineer the best mining equipment in the industry and supply rigs to some of the largest mining farms around the world. Their GPU mining rigs also integrate with the top crypto operating systems like HiveOS, MinerStat, and Simple Mining. All parts come with an international 1-year warranty. Exciting news! They will be adding ASIC miners for sale to their website soon and launching a new product built specifically for ASIC home miners. Please visit octominer.com or email support@octominer.com for questions.